Welcome to a brand new season of Scintillations, the podcast that explores what's now and what's next in consumers, culture, and the business of branding. This season, we'll be studying Swiftonomics. Join us as we talk to marketing experts, business leaders, and entrepreneurs about what makes Taylor Swift the best brand on the market. Listen in as we unravel the secrets behind her ability to capture hearts, minds, and market share, exploring what makes her a powerhouse of success. If you're a bona fide Swiftie, if you just don't get the hype, or you want to know what you can learn and apply in your own business, this season is for you. Now let's get started with your host, Erica First.
Jackie, good morning. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Jackie, and I am currently located in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and I am the co-founder and editor of unitedbypop.com, which is a pop culture website and sort of fandom community that focuses on what's trending in the United States and the United Kingdom. And then I'm also a senior producer of editorial content at SiriusXM.
Oh, awesome. So you are a perfect person to talk to about today's topic, which is Taylor Swift's strategy, or fell into it naturally, but treating her fans / customers, consumers as partners in her brand and her development and her music. What are some examples of how Taylor does that?
Well, I think Taylor, I don't think anything that she does is accidental. I think she, as she would say, is a mastermind. And she has sort of partnered with her fans from day one in being her biggest advocates and also being an approachable kind of celebrity where fans feel like they really know her. She kind of gives away just enough and she makes them feel like they are her partners. And especially as she's kind of come up in this fight against unfair treatment in the music industry and misogyny, she has brought fans along with her and made them like her partners in this fight, which I think that sort of relationship that she's built with them has really helped her brand succeed because the fans are out there speaking on her behalf and feeling like they're taking up arms with her. So it's a very successful partnership that she has with them.
I have a couple of specific instances that I remember. Maybe you can embellish beyond this, but like the first one that comes to mind is obviously the 10-minute version of All Too Well, which was a song that she had written post breakup with, we won't say who, because everything is alleged. But at the time, you know, even today, you couldn't put a 10-minute track on a CD. So she cut it down to a 5-minute version, but mentioned accidentally, not accidentally, probably not so accidentally, that there was a 10-minute version. And for years, the fans consistently said, we want to hear the whole thing. We want to hear the 10 minutes. So when she did the re-records of her albums on Red, Taylor's version, she did the full 10-minute version of All Too Well, which in my opinion is a masterpiece. I don't even understand how it could ever have existed in 5 minutes because the 10-minute is just, everything is necessary. But as a fan, when you say like, we want to hear this, we want to hear this, and then your artist does it, that creates such a sense of being seen, which is so integral to Taylor's strategy and to who she is in the industry.
Yeah, I think a lot of brands could take a page from this book where it's like your fans want to feel heard so badly and feel that they have a little piece in your success. And Taylor's fans, even the fact that they buy her re-recordings, there are not a lot of artists who could do that successfully. Because again, it's like that they're fighting the music industry and what's happened to her with her. And so they're going to buy those to help her make this statement that I can do it without you. And so that they wanted this 10-minute version and they got it in this re-recording. It's like, you know, she listened to them and they did this together and they're going to be successful, get to the top of the charts together, hand in hand. So I think it's something that other brands could emulate, and that, and even just read your social media comments, see what people want from you as a brand. At SiriusXM, we're always seeing what people are saying about our product. And it's just like with Taylor. People wanted this. It's even the single right now, Is It Over Now, from the 1989 recording, that wasn't like a planned single release. People wanted it. And with social media, they have so much more impact than ever before. Like, not even that long ago, whatever was going to be the single was predetermined by the record label and the marketing team. It wasn't that fans said, we really like this, and that's what we want to be the single. I mean, how many times did you have a record that you love and the single that was chosen for radio was maybe your least favorite track on the album? I always think of Panic at the Disco's first album, and what they chose for the single, I Write Sins Not Tragedies, was easily the worst song on that album, but that became the song that they were known for. But with Taylor and Today, if fans love it and they're going to play it on TikTok all the time and request it at radio stations, it's going to get played and it's going to become the unofficial single. And I just think that's amazing.
I think it was Jack Antonoff was on Fallon a couple of weeks/months ago, and he was talking about this important shift in the music industry. And I would say it's not only the music industry, it's a shift in industry, period, that a song, that Cruel Summer, which was their favorite song, but was not picked as a lead single, 5 years later is blowing up because it's what the fans want to listen to. Now, of course, Taylor, because she's in the process of doing these re-records, very astutely picked her lesser known tracks to put in the concert so that she could boost some. So it wasn't an accident that Cruel Summer came up, but people could have chosen not to listen to it. So it kind of like destroyed times, boundaries, that we've seen it even with Suits. I remember watching Suits the first round, and now people are rediscovering it. So it's got a whole new life to it. And I think any company that is not paying attention to what their consumers, what their clients, what their customers want is missing out on new categories, new products, but also just the possibility to create a really profound sense of loyalty.
Yeah, it's so different in the age of social media because the immediate feedback that you can get as a company and the fact that it's public and it's out there means that you really have to be putting out a good product that people like, because if you don't, it's going to be out there and people are going to know it. Word of mouth just could not be more important than it is right now. And people want reputation so badly to be the next re-recording. Really thought that was going to be what she announced at the Grammys.
Actually, I wanted to mention the Grammys because we're recording this after the Grammys happened, where there were a couple of moments that Taylor caused discussion about her, which is what she does to begin with. One that makes sense to me, the other a little bit less. But when she came up and accepted her first award, which was her 13th award, which of course everyone knows is her lucky number, everyone thought she was going to announce that she was releasing Reputation, her re-record, and instead she announced a brand new album, which no one saw coming. And this is one of the fun things that she does as rewards and games with her fans. They set up this puzzle and they think they got the answer. And she's like, JK, going this way, which is, that's part of the way that she keeps them engaged. And we can talk about that. But in her acceptance speech, instead of saying thank you to the Academy, to the people in the room, I'm so inspired, which is usually what people do when they accept awards, she used the stage to announce an album. Now, at the Grammys, you have a floor of celebrities, and then you have a floor of regular people like us. And what I thought was interesting in that was the response from the people on the ground was tepid at best. You could see a lot of forced smiles like, oh no, now I'm going to have to move my album. But the fans, of course, went crazy. And I was thinking about that, what the choice was. And that's just another sort of affirmation of the fact that I don't care about these people. I don't care about what the industry expects me to do. I don't care about how they think I'm supposed to behave here. I care about me and you. And I know that this is going to make you happy. You're going to be excited. I'm here to surprise you. So let them talk smack about me, which of also creates conversation, which is another one of her strategies, which we'll also be talking about in another episode. So it's like it's a double win. She gets to create a little bit of controversy that creates conversation. And by creating people who are haters, quote unquote, that gives the fans the opportunity to go to bat for her, right? Which is part of the partnership. Like, let me defend you because I've just given you a gift. It was a surprise. You're excited. You don't know anything about this. And so I thought it was really interesting, the sort of flaunting, I don't care about what I'm supposed to be doing up here. I care about you, and this is for you. And even though they're going to talk poorly about me, I want you to have this, and I'm going to announce it now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's her whole special thing with fans is that to the point where I think fans think that they see secret messages that she's leaving that don't really exist. But to get up on that stage and make an announcement like that and not, thank the Academy and, play by their usual rules was just like, as a fan, it felt so special, when it really felt like her, like giving you a little wink on stage and that, you are in this together. And I think that's exactly what you were saying. As a fan, you are her partner in her success. And she got that award. You helped her get there. And now she's giving you something back. So yeah, totally agree with you there.
I would say there's two big lessons for businesses and brands. The first is 100% listen to the people who are purchasing your product. I've sat through tons of product development things where it's like, they don't need that. Did you ask anyone? They don't want that. They're not going to use that. And then
oh my God, is that true?
You're going to have to reverse engineer it so that it sounds interesting.
Stop assembling, panels of stop making it so official. Just listen to them. Everything that they want, is out there. You don't need these reviews, all these studies.
Right. Well, it's like,
just
now
listen.
It's in blue. It's like, well, I don't care. I'm not going to pay $10 more for that because it's blue.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Great. No, but we put together a group study and they said they really like blue. No.
So 100% definitely listen to the people who are involved in making you money, because those are the people who are going to open their wallets. And if you can make them happy, make them feel part of it, even just soft sounding, listening, please give us your opinion. And then responding back. That's the other thing. It's what I think Taylor does really well is it's not just I'm listening, but there's concrete evidence that I've listened, heard, and now I respond. So there's a listening process and then there's a response process. And then the other part is to be good to the people who are making you money, whether they are the people in your company or they are the people without your company. The more they are happy, the more they like you, the more they feel realized, seen, and in a healthy relationship, the more they're going to work for you even harder.
Yeah, I think it even translates really well to influencer marketing where, whether it's paid or it's organic. I was thinking about the brand Chewy, which is a pet supply. It's kind of like the Amazon of the pet world. And when you buy things from them, it feels very much like Amazon. You don't really expect to hear from them. But if you have your pets on your profile, if you upload pictures, once in a while, they send their customers hand-painted pet portraits.
Oh, nice.
Just to say thank you. They don't ask for anything back in return. It's just a gratitude for the customer. And if your pet passes away and you try to return the dog food or anything, they will send you condolence flowers and tell you to donate the dog food. And is this a marketing ploy? Absolutely. But does it feel good as a consumer that this brand is human and appreciates your purchases and also feels for you when your pet passes away? Absolutely. And I think that human touch, it's almost like Taylor's secret sessions or when she has people over to her house and bakes them cookies. Bring yourself down to the human level. Have those personal touches Even in influencer marketing, when brands send out PR packages, if they include a handwritten note from whoever sent it to them that says, "Dear Erica, I'm so excited to send you the latest blush from our collection. Hope you love it." Just getting that just feels a little bit less like you're a cog in the machine. There are actual people at work here, and I think Taylor really does, even when she writes the new album's marketing materials have all been in her handwritten font. That's a font,
Yes.
but it feels like she's genuinely writing to you. And like that, I just think that that human touch is so important.
Yeah, it's funny. I had this debate with somebody about, they were like, oh, she writes her notes. And I was like, guys, I mean, it's her handwriting. They've made a font out of her handwriting, but she
Right.
definitely did not. Look at the eyes. They're all exactly identical.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the idea.
Right. Right. I think, back in the day when you would see pages from her diary, I mean, she still does that to a degree. When you buy a CD, it'll come in the packet, but it's that little glimpse into her personal life. And then she's so tightly controlled on social media. So you don't get sort of that intimate look that you might in a more up and coming artist's life, but you still feel like you get that peak that gives you, that relatability. And that's so important.
Yeah, I think she's very good at pulling back the curtain just enough
Just enough. Yes.
so that you feel like but we don't know.
Yeah. And it's like Chewy selling, X billions of dollars of pet food or whatever. But it's like, oh, there's actually a person there who wrote me this, condolence card when my pet passed. And that's just that little bit is so special and will keep you a loyal customer.
So if we had to sum up, what would be your top 5 or top however many steps for a business, a brand, a company to treat their customers, consumers as partners? What do they need to do?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to take a few pages out of Taylor's book, I would say that you should treat everybody on your team well. You should treat everybody who purchases your product well. You should put out a good product that people want to, vouch for on social media or by word of mouth, because that's critical. I don't think for product flies these days because social media is just too brutal and people are going to figure it out. And I think having a personal touch, don't go too corporate. And I say this to Taylor too, as she puts out her bajillionth, album in a row. Like, be careful. Don't lose that authenticity, because that's what people love about you, especially if you're a homegrown business. As you're getting bigger and bigger, remember where you came from, stay true to your roots, and, honor the people who are with you from the get-go. I think that's also critical. Like, your day one fans are the most important that you'll ever have. And they've seen you through everything. So reward them and they will reward you.
Yeah, I love that. So I have 2 separate sessions on the loyalty. Actually, I just published it yesterday, and your ride or dies, and the intermittent rewards, which is the secret sessions, or when she bakes them cookies, or when she shows up in your movie theater, things like that. And which is, again, brilliant business because it keeps people. So if and I'll talk about this in that episode, but as long as we're talking about like partnerships, when I reward you and you don't know where and how it's going to come, but I tell you it's because I've been watching and I see what's happening on social media. I see who's talking more. I see who's downloading more. I see who's more involved in that. Well, what does that do to you, right? Makes you want to, well, I want to be in the running for one of these rewards. So I'm going to put out more. It's just good business.
Yeah, I think one of the best things she ever did, which unfortunately wasn't repeated, but for the Reputation tour, you moved up in the virtual queue for buying tickets to the show based on if you bought merchandise or if you streamed the song, or I mean, there were a few things I think you could do that didn't cost money, but like the more you proved your loyalty, basically, the more you got to jump ahead in the ticket queue. And I thought that was just so smart.
Yeah, that's clever, especially because now there's all, we talked about this on another episode, but if you go to a concert, if you go like too many times or I know we're just starting the international leg and it's coming to Europe soon. And there's a lot of Americans that are coming to the concerts, and the Europeans are furious,
Yes.
There's a whole thing about who has the right to own those tickets, and
Yeah.
hierarchy of fandom of like, well, no, I've been listening to her for forever, so I have more of a right. And this is after an active discussion on social media is it's not fair that like newbies get to come in, or, that I don't have $300, $500, which frankly, I think is a fair argument, and I'm still a loyal fan. Like, so I think she's going to have to consider, and I think that's kind of what the movie was for, also, I mean,
Yes. Yes.
also another way to make money. But like, if you couldn't afford to come to the concert, then I'm going to bring it to you.
Yeah. Or if you could afford, but you just could not get these
Right.
precious, precious tickets. Because, yeah, I mean, I do, as somebody who goes to multiple shows for most tours, when somebody I really love comes around, one just usually isn't enough. I do feel a little bit guilty that I'm taking like a seat away from somebody who hasn't been able to see a single one. But like at the end of the day, and we're all living in Taylor Swift's capitalist world. So if I can do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Last question. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh my God, that's heavy.
Everyone,
It's like ever or like of the moment.
You get to decide how
yeah.
you want to answer.
Let's see. Right now, I can't stop listening to Exile for some reason. That has like come back into my life as just like such a phenomenal song.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
All right.
But like, ask me next week. I'd have a different one.
Yeah, it's true. It does go from period, because it's also a response to our own emotional states. Like,
I know. What am I saying by picking that song?
we should talk.
Yeah. Well, we'll dig back into that package a little later.
Yeah, right. All right, Jackie, thank you so much for your time today. This was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Scintillations. If you've enjoyed listening to us, please subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us share our learnings with more curious and interested people like yourself. See you next time.